Tonight I've got a viewer story, and it is perfect for a Friday the 13th. And it has got a lot of layers like an onion. And the more you peel back, the more intense it gets. Alright, now this happens in Southwest Virginia, and the gentleman wants to remain anonymous, and I will respect that. But it all started one night when he was just hanging out in his garage apartment with his dogs, and all of a sudden, his dogs, their hackles stand up, and he hears something moving around outside in the gravels. So as he's listening, he goes to move to the door to open it and see what's going on outside. And his dogs, who usually jump at any opportunity to go outside, they lay their ears down and tuck their tails. So as he opens the door, he says he hears this scream, this god-awful scream, that sounds like three voices at one, like three tones all in one shout from one voice, but it sounds like three voices. That was the first incident. Now, the second incident is when he and his wife had just got finished with some grocery shopping, and his wife had already gone inside to put away some groceries. And at this occasion, he heard a long whistle coming from the wood line. And not just any whistle. This whistle lasted a solid 10 seconds, like a monotone at that. Well, fast forward a little bit down the road, and he and his wife are driving at night through the area. And by the roadside, they both spot this tall, skinny, muscular, bipedal figure. Like, they just see a shadow, basically, or a silhouette, but they can tell it's very slender and very muscular, bipedal, kind of hunched over in stature, and that had to put it at about 7 foot tall. Well, just not long after that, they're coming home from a nighttime grocery run, and in their path are a herd of deer, and they swear what's pursuing it is a monkey. That's what they thought it was. Couldn't have been more than 4 foot tall, they say it at the most. Well, here's the thing, because they go to investigate this. After all these incidents, they go to look up, sightings in the area, and here's what they found. In this particular area, and as a matter of fact, in this exact area, and they didn't know this prior, there is a cryptid called the devil monkey. And this thing has been sighted ever since the late 1950s. Now, some reports I've read even put it back in South Pittsburgh, which is, my tiny little town. They say as far back as 1934 in South Pittsburgh that you can find newspaper articles about it. Now, I did not find these articles, but I did find a reference to it. So if you find them, please submit them, and I will definitely post them in a follow-up. But in 1959 was the first official report of the devil monkeys, and it was his family that was driving through the exact area in Southwest Virginia. And one night, as they were driving at night, this creature comes out before them in their path, and it's pacing them. They're doing 55, 60 miles an hour, and it is keeping up with them. Now, they got a good look at it, and they said that it had short, dark fur, sleek fur, not fuzzy. It had a face that was kind of like a mix between a baboon's and a canine. It had 3 sharp claws on its feet and claws on its hands also. And what sets this apart is it had a long, skinny tail, kind of like a monkey also. Well, it wasn't long after this. See, this thing shredded their car. Now, nobody was hurt in the incident, but it left these very deep scratch marks in the side of their car. These 3 long, deep scratch marks. Well, the next incident in the area were a couple of nurses working the night shift. They were driving home from work one night, and this thing jumps on their car, and it totally rips off the roof of their convertible. Now, there are 2 witnesses to this incident, and like I said, it totally rips off the roof of their convertible. Nobody was hurt in that incident again. Now, after that, the next one would be in the 70s, and here's where 3 of them were sighted, and they were picking off the livestock in the area. Livestock started coming up missing, and 3 of them were definitely sighted in the area. The next one is a lady from Ohio, was taking a detour through one of the 2-lane highways in the area, and this thing jumped right in her path. Now, no human so far has known to be hurt in these incidents, but Virginia is not the only sightings of these. I've read about them in other states. We're just talking about the ones in Virginia for tonight. But they all have this same description. The thing is, they go from 3 to over 7 foot tall. So the 4-foot monkey that they saw chasing these deer across the road, as well as the roughly 7-foot tall, slender bipedal creature standing by the roadside, which he and his wife both co-witnessed on both occasions, could very well fit into this category. So let me know what you guys think. What's really going on in Southwest Virginia, guys? What's going on with these devil monkeys? If you have a devil monkey story of your own, I'd love to hear it. Keep sending your stories in. That has been Jay's Haunted Appalachia for tonight, for Friday the 13th. I hope you guys enjoyed the story. And please like, share, repost, follow, all that. It doesn't cost a thing, and it would really tickle my heart if you would. And again, that's been Jay's Haunted Appalachia. Keep Appalachia haunted, y'all.